Gonna try and make a quick story time about gifts from beyond. My grandma passed away in April at 100 years old. She was just about a week and a half after her 100th birthday. And at the time, she was 100, but it was unexpected. We didn't think that was going to happen right away. Apparently, Grandma had planned otherwise, or at least had planned ahead. And my family, my grandmother, my mom, my aunt, myself, and my daughter are very, very strong female, 4 generations, and we had a strong bond between all of us. And so my grandmother had told my mom, nobody else, that she had gotten some gifts for us all. It was all the same thing, gifts for us all for after she was gone, and she wanted my mom to give them to each of us after she was gone. So Mom knew that there were 4, that they were jewelry of some sort. That's all she knew. She didn't know where they were. It wasn't like it was hidden. It just wasn't thought of. And so after Grandma passed, we got to May, June, and Mom started trying to figure out where the heck these gifts were. And it was nagging her in the back of her mind. She had told me about it, that Grandma had gotten 4 special gifts. But then just we kind of forgot about it. Anyway, so I guess at some point they were in these, and which kind of like a gift card holder, right? And like if you slide it out of the little box, it's a little bit fancier, and it does say Dominique on it, but so but it just looks like it would be a gift card holder. My aunt, right around the time of Grandma's funeral, she needed some paperwork that Grandma kept in that lockbox under her bed. My aunt had come over to the house, and she was looking for these papers, and then she remembered the lockbox under the bed. She went through the lockbox, and she noticed these in the lockbox, but didn't pay any attention to them. She thought that they were some gift cards. More worried about the paperwork that she needed to find, and kind of ruffled through, and so they got shuffled around, and there were no longer 4 of them together. And still a few more months went by, and my mom was still racking her brain on how we were going to find the special gifts that my grandmother had gotten. She didn't remember the lockbox. She was looking through the lockbox for something else, and she came across these, and it got her curious. She still wasn't thinking that's what it was. And then when she opened up one of them and realized that it was this necklace. And she found 3. Just not like thinking it through really. And I didn't realize she'd found them. And so then my aunt was over, and my mom said, oh, while you're here, you and me and Gail have these special gifts to open. And I was thinking, wait, but there's one more, but I didn't really say it out loud. Anyway, we opened them up, and they were, they're absolutely gorgeous. They're so special. Like that Grandma thought about this before she passed. It was nagging at me, and then Mackenzie came, and like I could see that she was heartbroken because it was like she wasn't included. And I'm like, I know there were 4. I'm sure of it. And Mom said, yeah, I thought so too, but there were only 3 in the lockbox. Feeling really bad about it, because knowing that Mackenzie, like she's part of the 4. Thinking, and I remembered about the lockbox. The lockbox is no longer under the bed. I got to thinking about it. I'm like, if it's not in the lockbox, where could it be? And then I remembered, well, my aunt had gone through the lockbox real quick when she was looking for that paperwork around the time of the funeral. And, she was in a state. We were all in a state of shock, of grief, of everything. And when she was going through that lockbox, she was near the bed, and her back was hurting, so she was bent down. And then she decided that she'd put everything back in the box and take it to her house and go through it there, because it was too much for her to, she's got a really bad back. It was too much for her to be on the ground looking through it. So she did. And then she handed the box off to my mom, and that's where it's been. I got to thinking about it afterwards, and I'm like, that lockbox was under the bed. I bet you if I look. And so I looked under the bed, I didn't see anything. But then there's a chest at the end of the bed, and I looked under the chest, and sure enough, number 4 was there. And so Mackenzie's was there. The day that I found this, I didn't tell her because I wanted Mom to be here at the same time that we gave it to her. Mackenzie had come, my daughter had come to the house, and there's a clock on the wall. It's a grandfather clock. It's a small little one with a pendulum that goes back and forth. It hasn't worked for years. It doesn't, it's decorative. That day when Mackenzie came into the house, and I have video, that clock started ticking, but it didn't change time. It stayed exactly where it was, and the second hand was just ticking at like the speed of a heartbeat. Tick, 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 tick. Not moving, but moving, but not changing time. Later on that day, Mom came over. We gave Mackenzie the necklace, and of course, she was crying. We were all crying. It's just really special. And the clock stopped. It wasn't doing that anymore. And then the next day, Mackenzie came over, and we were talking about everything. And as we were talking about everything, the pendulum that's in the bottom of the clock started swaying just a teeny tiny bit. Like, you could visibly see it, but teeny tiny. And so we are all absolutely certain that Grandma was saying, hey, good job finding the necklace. Mackenzie, my heart is with you, and her heart is with all of us. And I think what a special thing to do, to give a gift that is meant to be given after you're gone. And I will definitely be planning on doing that for my loved ones. I just think that's so special. But anyway, thanks for listening to my story time. I hope you have a good night. This is the heart up close. Isn't it precious?